Alright, welcome guys for our 10th class and the 10th chapter. We are half of the way. 41 pages. Oh no, it's 200 pages. So we are like quarter of pages. Okay. But we will finish this quick. Since these videos were a little small, 10-15 minutes. Okay, so here what we're in this we'll try to do insert on a duplicate key update. Okay, how big is this? This will take some time, but okay, this will be an interesting one. Okay, insert. Now we are going into detail. Okay, we did insert thing, right? Insert thing we did in first class, but here we'll try to go in detail here. Okay, now we'll just copy this table here. But the problem here is insert into table. We didn't create a table, right? So this is my table. Okay, let's try to do this. First, to run this insert command, this is insert, but to insert it you need the table actually. So what table are you want to use? This guy didn't explain this. Oh, so bad. So first you need to create a table. So to create a table we did it really in the first class, right? So this is similar to our first class, but here the only thing is you are in the duplicate key. Here you are doing on a duplicate key update. Okay, if you go back and see with the first class actually, so okay, we'll go back and see the first class. You know what, it is not fun, but we want to see all this information. Oh wait, where did we create this? Create database. Okay, use here you go. Please remember we created a table this, so you want to create a table like this, you know, to insert this. Okay, we did insert two. You see, we did insert two, but this was simple. Now this is a duplicate. Ta-da! So the problem is, you know, I could use my table again, but I don't think this would work. But we will try it out. You can play around with the my table actually. So we're not in 20th yet. We have a long way to go. Okay, so what we can do here is we can insert into table name. We will do my table. I don't think this would work. Index field, because we don't have this index field altogether. We are only on primary. Okay, so how does this index? So there's a problem. Well, we'll see this. And yeah, this won't work because you want to insert first. You want to create. You know, we're trying to create this table. Okay, we have done this my table, and these are the columns: email ID, user. That's fine. But the index field is only we have primary key. We want to first create these indexes. So this guy never talk about creating the indexes. This is a problem. Okay, so here the index field, another field 1, another field 2. Okay, we only have this indexes created for primary, that was automatically created, but you can also create manually the indexes. So this won't work, but this guy is supposed to give that table and that name, whatever he has. So then you're supposed to run this query. This is pretty random query, because this is, if you don't have the table name, you cannot do this. You cannot run this query if you don't have the table. Okay, so this insert table is pretty much useless technically, because this is kind of you don't have the table and just you want to run this, so doesn't work. So inserting multiple rows, you can insert multiple values by doing comma, data 1, data 2, data 3, and so I'm not saving that because this should work. So this will not work because, wait, hold on, we try that on. Yeah. Oh, sorry. This is what the table is, my table. Yeah, the column name are only email ID. You know what? We'll just change the values. Okay. Field 1. Oh, this was joke. We could have done this our own. We're not supposed to copy this. Okay. Since ID is primary key, we don't want to mess up with this. We can mess up with the email. I don't care. So, and also username. I don't care, whatever it is. This should work. It did. Wow. But now okay. So what we'll do here is we'll just copy and paste for this. So this is insert. So we did insert, but this is second time we are doing this. Now, just for getting an idea, so we can have this practice for getting insert. Now the whole thing is saying now there is no more email 1, email 2. What you will be having into this column is, let's see here, select star from the name again, my table, and run it. So you find it all data 1, data 2, data 3. Oh, we do have this one. This thing didn't delete it, but this got screwed up. Okay, so that's what inserting is all about. So if you are inserting multiple data, so use it comma. That's what it means. Always use comma. Semicolon is not required for this. So okay, ignoring existing rows, insert, ignore, select star from people. This guy didn't even tell the people created. Okay, nevertheless, that's what all about increment, and we did auto increment 2. Remember this, we did this for the car table. Okay, so auto increment, this is fine, but this is good. Now let's try this, how this thing works. See, we are using a lot of this server. This is not good, because those guys will, if they found out that we are using this lot, these guys will shut it down this one. So because this is only for small practice test, not for large data. So okay, so here what we are trying to do here is, look at this, we are trying to create a table IODKU where ID integer auto increment, that means this will be a primary key, which name has a varchar of 99 not null, miscellaneous integer not null, primary key ID as I told you, ID is anomalies, and the name is unique. Wow, that's a problem. Engine is equal to InnoDB. Why does this guys need this engine? Alright, so insert values, we are trying to insert right here. So let's see how does it work. Ooh, this took a long time to do this, but it did create, but this thing got a lot more complex because this got indexes as 2 and we have these columns and all those things. So this is how you can create a table actually. So I will just save it as okay, that's fine. So now what you can do is now you can select this IODKU, select star from IODKU. What is IODKU? Go ahead and see, you can see this to recast, that's what it shows. So we are doing this over and over again. So now now we are trying to perform an update. Let's update this. Update, we just use this update. So we put this handout actually. So update.SQL. Let's see how this thing works. We'll go back here and we'll go to SQL. So this is comment. So this, I hope this should work. No admin problem. Okay, good. It updated my records. So what we are basically trying to do is insert into name miscellaneous values, right? We are updating here. This is a comment, should update. On duplicate key update, this will trigger duplicate key, and this is the ID, which is miscellaneous. We have this miscellaneous column, which last is becoming this. So what we are trying to do is here we are trying to your 2 rows got inserted, and the name of this ID is 3. Okay, so this is how the update works. Right. So we'll try again. In case we are up to insert and last time retrieves a new, so we want to insert Dana into that table. Okay. So we use a different. This is the comment. So okay, we'll save this as duplicate update. we'll run this and see. Let's find out what happens. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to on duplicate key update. So here we have just two keys here. Okay, so 789 should, let's see what happens after this. Okay, so this took one row got inserted and showing this. Okay, total query, and the last ID insert is 4. So this is what it showed. Oh, here it's showing as 3. How interesting. There's always something missing, you know, every time we do this something is missing. Okay, now we'll try to see what's happening. So this what we did all around is updating table. Okay, all the way what we did was updating with the new values. Now let's select start from, okay, from table IO DKU, right, and the values should be Leslie, Dana. So we updated this recently, right? Dana and Sally. So Leslie 1 2 3. Yeah, this is what we changed. So the whole, what's the point of doing all this? So you can do this update and delete commands. I'm sorry, update insert. The point of this is whenever you're trying to do this, this is useful for when you're working with these loads. Okay, whenever you're trying to troubleshoot something and some records got screwed, so you want to update with the records with what actually it is. Okay, so that's the reason you do this, but otherwise you don't require. Okay, again this guy came up with table A. The problem is there is no table A. Again you have to create table for this. You need to again go back here, create this table and put that values, and again do this work. So it's too bad. So this is insert for data from another table. Okay, from this is from. So what I will do is okay, you use this command actually. These two commands, the primary key should be there, right? What? Let me check this. You know what? We will try to do this sorting column order by table B. Okay, so we will take this as an example. Let's see this. We'll take this example and try to do this newly created Dana table. Sorry, hello table. Okay. So go to query box and put that query here. Insert into. We'll just screw up some tables here. IO DKU, that means we are inserting something in the field. We don't want to mess up with primary keys, so just leave that primary key alone. MISC, in the field name we will just use name. Select table B. Okay, so table B, what we'll do here is we'll use this my table. I don't care. So here we'll use email. Too bad. And then field 1 is, I'm sorry, this is supposed to be my table, not the column. Okay, the field name, field 1 is actually we'll just use email, and table B is my table, and field 2 is username. How interesting is this from table 2, because this thing is getting screwed up big time. Alright, so take it easy. And this table B dot column, table B is my table, and username. Some value. I'm getting username as 100. I don't know. Order by my table. Sorting column. This will just use ID. I hope this should work, but I'm not going to explain you if this thing work. I'm not going to explain you. It's your homework. Go ahead and do it. So what we are trying to use, we are trying to update a record from a different table. Very interesting. I've never done that. Column MySQL. Oh, there is a MySQL, right? Why did it take it? This MISC is not integer. The integer is not matching here, remember? So that's the problem. MISC is the. So what we'll do here is we'll just try to change something. I don't know. The integer value should be correct. MISC. This is bad. Let's see what happens. This thing will keep it as 100% value. Something like this. Why is MISC giving a problem? So you can supposed to work. The only thing is not incorrect integer value. See the integers are not matching here. The email we did as integer was varchar, and the name is varchar. Okay, but we are trying to update this and trying to insert into name. Okay, and name and miscellaneous. These are varchars, and and you're trying to do this from, so the integers are not matching, so that's supposed to be an integer, right? So incorrect integer value, my user. So my user for column, who is my user? Okay, for miscellaneous. So you know what, why don't we do for only one table, name and just forget about this thing. Email. Okay, does this work? Now this error is completely miscellaneous doesn't have a default value. How interesting. So where is miscellaneous here? Oh, I didn't use miscellaneous. See, that's the problem. But you can use this I never used miscellaneous here. Still showing miscellaneous. So you can update this with this, but yeah, this is you can do with this. This is a different. We are trying to take a data from a different table and put it into this table. Okay, so this is what it means. So this is not a proper SQL, but you can work it out. Let's save this. If it works for you, that's good. For me, it might be an access issue. So you know what? I'll just keep that as a, so you know what to do with that. Okay, so we'll just put this as a insert dot SQL insert select. Okay, so so that's how you can insert a values in a table from a different table. That's what's supposed to mean by this. But it is not working for two reasons. One is the access level, the second is the mismatch of integers. The integers should match. Okay, if you are using the field 1 in this one, this should be also in the table B. The same integer should match, otherwise it won't work. Okay, so that's the problem we were getting actually. Okay, let's go to this last auto increment IDs. The section 10.6 here. And guess what? We'll just try to run this and auto increment. We'll just save it as auto increment. .SQL, and we'll try to see this. We cannot run so many tables here because the server gets heavy and they might shut it down, but okay, we'll try to do as much as possible, and I will get rid of this actually. Okay, now what we do here is we'll run this and click on go. This ran successfully, so we have so many tables right now. So burn table, now you have this. What you do here is select start from burn. Be careful on your syntax because there's a lot of case sensitive, and it might get you might get into a lot of trouble with this case sensitive. Okay, so this is what we created. That's what it is. So auto increment IDs, we've done this before. We can increment auto increment, but we use like engine denote DB. Okay, and this is what we got. So this is all about creating tables. Basically, you are actually creating tables. So now we'll start with this. And we'll next class in the 11th chapter we'll discuss about a little bit theoretical point of view. Okay, whatever which didn't work here is your homework. Okay, take it as homework and try to do yourself. This is the access, this is the max access. If you are not able to get the access, then download it and probably you can use this one. Okay, so this will be really good. So once you get hold of this, you'll be better able to understand. Okay, I hope you found this tutorial useful. Okay, thanks for watching and see you in the next class. Thanks.